Yeah, good evening all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you. So in the yesterday demo session, just I was briefing you about this Python, what kind of applications we can develop, reasons why it is Python suddenly super popular, right? So just for 5 minutes, let us have a quick review what was discussed in the last class. Why Python, right? It's a general purpose programming, any kind of applications we can develop. It's not for a particular purpose, right? Multi-programming. Python has got multi-programming features. What all the features we see in different other programmings? All the features we see in Python. And Python is a high-level language. Python is a high level, right? It's portable, human understandable, and machine independent. It can run on all the hardware and all the operating systems. It is an interpreted language, line by line execution, which makes debugging easy. User friendly programming or programmer friendly programming language, which provides simple syntaxes, which looks like normal English statements. So it's a general purpose programming, multi programming features. You have got high level language, interpreted language, user friendly programming, right? Yes. So two types of languages, low level and high level. Low level languages are assembly level language or machine level language. They are not human understandable. They are not portable. They are machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardware and all the operating system. High level languages like Python, they're human understandable. They are portable. A machine independent can run on all the hardwares and all the operating system. What are the Python has got multi-programming features? What are the programming features Python has got? Procedural oriented programming like C language, object oriented programming like C++, Java, scripting features like shell script, and modular programming features like Modular 3. Modular programming features like Modular 3, right? Like 89,300 inbuilt modules Python has got, right? So once again, I say, right, for learning Python, no need of any prerequisites. With zero programming, with non-programming, you can update with Python. So as part of the course, I'll be discussing from the scratch ground level to the advanced level, procedural oriented with Python, object oriented with Python, scripting and modular programming with Python, right? So Python, because of this multi-programming features, we call Python as a hybrid language. Just 1 second. Give me a second. Right? Okay, fine. So because of this modular programming, Python has got great boom because of 89,300 inbuilt modules Python is providing for different environments, right? Whatever domain or environment you are from, Python is providing modules for that. And modules, if I talk about the modules, right? For every environment, right, we have got a module. For data science, right, it is providing separate modules. For data science, is providing separate modules. For big data, we have got separate modules like PySpark. Testing for networking, for networking, separate modules and a separate framework is available, right? For OS, the name of the module itself is OS. For every database, it is providing a module. For Oracle, like CX underscore Oracle. For MySQL, PyMySQL. For SQL Server, right? PyODBC, right? In this way, for every database, there is a module given by Python. Even for working with different types of files like Excel files, CSV files, comma separate values for JSON, for XML, for PDF, right? For all these file formats, right? By writing Python code only, we can create these files. We execute the Python code, Excel file gets created. So CSV files are by writing Python code and executing it, PDF file gets created. Even for mathematical operations and for statistical operations for generating graphs, right? And what kind of applications are we developing today by using Python? Python real-time applications, right? So mostly used in creation of web applications. So we have got a framework, Python framework like Django. The rapid speed we can develop a web application with very less coding. It has got its own database like SQLite 3. For automation applications, right? Like data science, IoT or DevOps environment, all this they for implementing that we require a language like Python. And for even for big data, like especially Hadoop and Spark today, like Spark implemented by using Python like PySpark. For scientific applications, we have got a module like CP. For numerical analysis, we have got NumPy. For graphical user interface for animations, we have got TK or PyQt. Python is providing for gaming or game development separate frameworks like Pygame, PyCora, and for 3D games like PySoy. And for scheduling, Python is providing Airflow for test cases for software development. And for business application, Python is one of the best choice for developing e-commerce websites. For database application, connecting with any database, right? And for networking applications, it has separate framework. Python is providing like Twisted Python for web scraping, URL or beautiful BS4 module. For CAD 3D CAD applications, for even for embedded applications, right? The famous embedded application, a Raspberry Pi, which uses Python, right? Use Python scripts. For audio and video applications, so already some applications developed using Python like Team Player, C Player, some examples. For computer vision like face detection, object detection, color detection, right? For data analysis, for robotics, for desktop applications, single user console applications, right? Yes. Who are using Python today? Topmost applications built using Python. Google using Python for its web search system. Yahoo using Python. YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python and ML. Instagram built using Python. The main reason for Instagram choosing Python is Python hybrid features, its practicality, right? NASA using Python for its research and development activities because of Python multi-programming features. Quora, Reddit, Pinterest, Dropbox, all these they are built using Python. Netflix using Python for its security, automation, subscription related things. MMOG, massively multiplayer online games, or Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python script. iRobot for military and commercial operations. BitTorrent, right? BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service. For hardware testing, like companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all this they use Python for hardware testing purpose. Finally, right? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Very less code we see in Python as compared with other programmings. Not even 1/4 coding. Today, just I'll demonstrate by taking some code. Simple syntax is given by Python, right? Which looks like normal English statements. Interactive mode. We can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response. It has got multi-programming features. What all the features we see in Python, in different other programmings we see here in Python. Wide varieties of applications, just now I discussed, right? And many built-in libraries, 89,300 inbuilt modules, predefined modules, right? So just people from non-programming or zero program, you can just and check this, right? Python comparison, right? Python comparison with other programming, right? I'll take a task and I'll try to implement the task in multiple programming languages. You can check lengthwise, complex device, coding wise, right? How simple the Python statements. So the task is, right, accepting two values. A small task like accepting two values from the user keyboard and performing addition, right? Accepting two values from the user keyboard and performing addition, right? Yes. First one I'll write using Java, right? First thing I'll write using Java, later I'll write using Python, right? If you've got knowledge on Java, just you can go to the following code. So first we need to import java.io.start, right? So everything should be within a class, right? Class sample, right? Public static void main, right? Public static void main string aux. Throws IO exception, throws IO exception. Input stream reader, right? ISR equal to new input stream reader. System.in. Even we can use scanner classes. Buffered reader. New buffered reader. Every statement should end with semicolon. System.out.println. System.out.println, right? Enter the first number, right? Whatever number you are entering by default taken as string. Later I need to convert to integer by saying integer dot percent. Integer dot percent of S1, right? Yes. So these three statements I'll repeat for the second number also, right? Same ends with semicolon, right? Yes. Okay, enter the second number. Enter the second number, right? String S2 br dot read line. Int j equal to integer dot parseInt of S2. And finally saying system dot out dot println, right? System dot out dot println. Finally saying I plus j. So input stream reader, buffer reader, entering the first number taken as string, converting to integer, enter the second number taken as string, converting to integer. Yes. Just I'll take a minute in showing the execution in both Java and Python. I'll just copy this to a separate notepad. I'll save it, Control S. I'm creating a separate folder for this batch, Python 10 p.m. batch. Yes. Python 10 p.m. batch, right? Within this Python 10 p.m. batch, I'm saving it as sample.java. Sample.java, right? Yes. So just at the bottom command prompt, I'm typing CMD, right? I'm typing CMD to go to the command prompt. cd/come out of this existing path. Change your directory to Python 10 p.m. batch. Within this Python 10 p.m. batch, just execute this code java c sample.java, right? If any errors, will display the errors. If no errors, we can execute it. No errors, right? Java sample, right? Enter the first number 10, enter the second number 20, sum is 30. This is what the code in Java, right? I don't know like how many of you have understood this code. It looks little complex, right? Like what is class, what is public static void main, what is IO exception, what is input stream reader, buffer reader, what is read line. So without people from zero programming, right? They can't understand any of this line, right? So you got 10 to 12 lines of code. The same task I'll implement in Python, not more than 3 lines where everyone can understand, right? Without any programming knowledge. They look like normal English statements. Just I'll open this Python shell directly, right? I'll open a Python shell. This is the Python shell, right? File, new file. Just I'll directly write the Python code here. To add two numbers, you require X and Y, right? I want value of X from the keyboard using input function, input, enter value of X, enter value of X. Input, enter value of Y. Input, enter value of Y, right? Input value of Y. Print X plus Y. Print X plus Y. That's it. This is the code in Python. Very less code, not even 1/4 coding. They look like normal English statement. You can easily analyze what happening in each statement. Inputting the value of X, inputting the value of Y in the second line, print X plus Y. That's it. Save it. Just now I created a folder, right? Python 10 p.m. Okay. test1.py extension, right? Now here also in Python, just like Java, whatever we are taking from the keyboard taken as a string. Later we are supposed to convert to integer, right? Int of input, enter value of X. Keep this entire statement within this int of input, enter value of Y. Enter value of X, input, enter value of Y. So before assigning this to X, convert to integer and assign to X. Convert to integer and assign to Y. Print X plus Y. Run module, right? Yes. Enter value of X 10, value of Y 20, sum is 30, right? Same output you got. Entering the value of X, input in the value of Y, print X plus Y. So this is what simple coding in Python, right? As compared with other programming languages, right? So, so before I go with the installations, the versions, right? You need to know something about Python Software Foundation, PSF, right? Python Software Foundation. PSF. It is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization, right? It is a non-profit organization. PSF is a non-profit devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year PSF, right? It was launched in the year 2001, almost more than 23 years ago, right? The main objective of this PSF objective, right? Yes. To foster the development, right? To foster the development of Python from version to version, right? And in the year 2005, right? Python Software Foundation, PSF, received Computer World Horizon Award, right? Yes. For the cutting edge technology, and the president for this is Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum, the personality who introduced Python, who developed Python, right? The same personality is the president for this Python Software Foundation, right? Yes. Where are the headquarters located, right? Headquarters, Delaware, US. Delaware, US. Official website, official, right? Official website, python.org. www.python.org is the official website, right? Okay, so official website python.org. Here we are going to download, and from this we are going to download, and from there we are going to install Python. So before we go with that, we need to know something about the Python versions. Python 1.x version, it was released in the year 1989. Python 2 version, 2.x means 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, right? The first two version was released in the year 2000. Python 3.x version, right? The first three version was released in the year 2008. Latest version of Python, right? Python 3.12, right? Yes, Python 3.12 is the latest version. Stable version of Python, right? Mostly used version. 3.11, right? Stable version is nothing but mostly used version. Mostly used version, right? Yes. Python 2.x 2000, Python 3.x 2008. Latest version of Python, right? So from the last 16 years, right? Yes. We are using three version only. It is 3.12, right? Okay. Python installation. So it hardly takes 2 to 5 minutes for installing Python. So just before I go with the installation, I'll just show you from the scratch downloading and installation of Python. Right. No need to set the path manually. Automatically it gets. So 3.12, just I'm uninstalling it. Let it get uninstalled. So Python provides different softwares for different environments. For Windows, for Mac OS, for Linux, right? For Linux, no need of any installation. By default, along with Linux, Python also will be getting as inbuilt. Whenever you install Linux, Python also comes as inbuilt, right? Okay. So Linux, no need of any installation, right? For Windows and for Mac OS, we are supposed to download and we need to install it. For Windows especially, right, we require Windows provides two softwares. For Windows, it is providing two softwares, Windows 32-bit, Windows 64-bit. 32-bit Windows and 64-bit Windows, right? It's two softwares it is going to provide. So how will you check whether your Windows is a 32-bit or 64-bit means? Bottom at this file explorer, right? Right click on this PC or computer. Right click on this PC or computer and say properties. Right click on the PC, right? 64-bit system type, right? It is saying 64-bit operating system, 64-bit operating. If it is showing 32-bit operating system, you are supposed to download 32-bit Python software. But I hope everyone using, like if you got 64-bit, download 64-bit Python software. I'm closing this, closing this. So an installation was successful. Close this, right? Now, what is the official website of Python? Official website of Python, python.org, right? Just type www.python.org. The official website for Python, python.org. Say enter. Whenever you go to this python.org in that tab. So if you want to download, install parallel, you can install it, right? Within the downloads folder, within the downloads folders, you can see all releases you can see, right? All releases. After clicking that all releases, scroll down to the bottom, of this page. Don't go for active Python releases. Go for looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific release from the last 20 years. What all the versions available, everything are displayed here, right? Which version you want, the latest version. Python 3.12.4, June 6, 2024. Just 6 days ago it was released, right? 6 days ago it was released. 3.12.4. Click this 3.12.4, right? Okay, 3.12.4. Scroll to the bottom of the page, scroll down, So go to the downloads folder, click all releases, come down and looking for a specific release. In that, select 3.12.4. After selecting it, come to the bottom of that page. You can see these files. In that, Windows installer 64-bit, Windows installer 32-bit. Can you see here Windows installer 64-bit, Windows installer 32-bit? Depending upon your Windows, just select it, it gets downloaded. And for Mac OS, 64-bit universal installer, right? So just I'm clicking this Windows installer 64-bit. Yes. Download started, right? Yes. Just it is 25 MB of size, just 25 MB of size, right? Yes. Yes. Once it is downloaded, go to the downloads folder and click that exe file which was downloaded. Just click that exe file. So Python has got thousands of modules. All those modules you are not going to get along with the Python software. If we get all those modules, Python software size won't be 25 MB. It will be in GBs, right? So only like hundreds commonly used modules, hundreds of modules only you are going to get. Later we need to download and install the required modules, right? Later I discuss. So here you got this 3.12.4, that exe, right? Click the exe file, right? Otherwise, go to the downloads folder, click the exe file. You will get this window, right? Yes. So most of you do mistake while installing, right? One thing, don't immediately go for installing. At the bottom, you can see add Python to path. Add Python to path. Add Python to path variable of OS. Just select it. Means you are adding Python to path variable of OS. And go for customize installation. Go for customize installation. Everything are selected. No need to select anything, right? Everything are pre-selected. Just say next. Just say next. Documentation, pip, ideally, Python test suite, right? Say next. So, okay, here also nothing to select. What is the installation location? What is the installation location, right? So it is getting installed somewhere in users, Dell, app data, local programs, Python 312, right? Yes. In C, users, Dell, app data, local. Tomorrow, if you want to locate Python, where exactly it is stored, right? So you need to enter into all these subfolders, right? So instead of that, I'll install this Python. Keep your mouse before this, right? And remove all this big path. Just install Python in my C drive. C/Python 312. Python 312 means 3.12. A folder is going to created. A folder is going to get created, right? A folder is going to get created with this name, right? Yes, with this name, a folder gets created. It within that it is going to get installed. Within that it is going to get installed. Just say install. Only it takes 1 minute for installing Python, right? So once the installation is done, right? So once the installation is done, let us check whether it is properly installed or not, right? Yes. Okay. Almost done with the installation, right? So go to this python.org website, downloads folder. Within the downloads folder, looking for a specific release. Within that, select Python 3.12, right there. 64-bit, download it, install it, right? While before installing, select that add Python to path. Yes. So setup was successful, close it, right? Setup was successful, close it. And to check whether this Python is successfully installed or not, to check whether Python is successfully installed or not, go to this command prompt, by typing cmd, say enter. And here, where Python, if you say, right, where the Python is installed, it will show you that part. So within the C drive, Python 312, python.exe. So I've got multiple versions of Python installed, 3.11, 3.8, right? That's why it is showing multiple versions. Where Python. And if you say Python, Python hyphen version, right? Python hyphen version, it will show the Python version, right? That is installed. Python 3.12.4, right? Where Python means where by exactly this Python is installed in your system, it says. Python version means it will say Python hyphen version where exactly it is installed. And if you type Python here directly, if you say Python and if you say enter, now Python is going to get opened. Python opens, right? It displays the Python version 3.12.4. And can you see this three arrowed symbol? You can type any valid Python statements and interact with statement by statement. You can say like 3 plus 4 x has 10, no need to define the data types. Y has 2, what is x, what is y, what is x plus y, x minus y, x into 2, x to the power symbol means double square, x equal to Ajay, y equal to Kumar, right? X plus y, Ajay Kumar, you will get, right? In this way, you can type any valid Python statements and execute, right? It's working fine. Python is installed successful. You say quit, it comes out of this, right? So, okay, coming back, right? Yes. If anyone working in Linux environment, if you want the latest version of Python to be installed, right, in your Linux machine, right? So just use this command, right? It automatically downloads and installs the latest version of Python, right? Say Kausif, you're not supposed to draw on the screen. One second. Okay. So if you want the latest version of Python to be installed in your Linux machine, right? So everything you need to download, everything you need to install from the root user, right? Sudo apt-get install Python 3.12, right? This is the command to install latest version of Python within your Linux machine if you want. This Python installation, right? Yes. One second. Fine. So there is Python installation next. And Python execution modes. Python execution modes, right? Two modes of execution. Two modes of execution. First one is interactive mode. Just now I said that interactive mode means statement by statement you will interact, it gives response, right? This is what interactive mode. And second is like batch mode, like other programming languages. Interactive mode means here we directly type, on the interpreter, right? And the users can easily interact. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact, statement by statement. So what is the advantage of this interactive mode? Advantage, right? What is advantage means? Who doesn't know about any Python functionalities, right? You can type in, check what output it is going to provide. Based on that, you can analyze, right? So to test the functionalities of Python, right? And to learn Python. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python, right? Testing the, okay. For learning the Python as a beginner, as a learner, right? This interactive mode works better. Batch mode. Here we write batch of statements. Here we write batch of statements within the editors or IDs. Within the editors or IDEs. We write a batch of statements or set of statements within the editors or IDEs. IDEs means integrated development environment, right? And save it by using we write batch of statements within the editors or IDs and save it by using .py extension and save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python. So we'll create a .py file and later submit that file to Python. So what are the various editors? IDEs? It means in real time we use IDEs, integrated development environments, right? What are the various IDEs where we can write the Python code, right? Within the Windows and Linux environment, various editors. So within the notepad, we can write Python code and create a .py file, right? And within the edit plus also we can write Python code and we can create a .py file. Within the Linux, we have got VI editors, nano editors, right? VI and nano editors. This first two are for Windows environment. The next two are for Linux. Sorry. This first two are for Windows environment. The next two are for Linux environment. So we can write the Python code and create .py and later submitting to Python. What are the various IDs? What are the various IDEs, right? Various IDEs where we can write the Python code, right? Integrated development environments. Python supports many IDEs, right? Like PyCharm is the one, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, right? Jupyter Notebook. VS Code, right? Yes. So PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, VS Code. Yes. So you may ask why these many IDs for Python? Why not one or two? Python is used for different environments, right? Different environments are using different IDs. For example, for data science, Spider is mostly preferred. Jupyter Notebook is mostly preferred. Spider is preferred, right? And even for big data environment, right? Jupyter is mostly preferred. Spider is preferred. And for typical web applications, right? PyCharm is mostly used. VS Code is used, right? So among all these, the mostly used one, PyCharm is the mostly used IDE, right? So mostly used IDE for Python, right? I'll show you not on one or two IDs. I'll be showing you on multiple IDs like PyCharm, Spider, Jupyter, VS Code, all these IDs I'll be showing you how to download them step by step, how to install, how to run the code, how to execute the code, right? Everything. Once we are done with a little bit of technical content, right? I'll be showing you how to download and how to install and how to run on this, right? Just I'll take 5 minutes more, right? Let me show you. One second. Okay. So the mostly used one is PyCharm is the mostly used one. Okay. Developing the first Python application, right? Developing the first Python app. Just I'll take 5 minutes. Developing the first Python application using a editor. Using a editor, right? Yes. Example like Notepad. Example like Notepad. Just open Notepad and type the following Python statements. Up to now, I didn't discuss anything about Python, right? Any technicals of Python. So just I'll take two values, 10 and 20. And I just want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, right? And division. X plus y, x minus y, x into y, and x by y. I'll just copy this to a separate notepad file, right? I'll copy this to a separate notepad file, right? I'm just pasting here, right? Save file, save, right? Just now I created a separate folder, right? Python 10 p.m. batch. Yes, within this Python 10 p.m. batch, right? Sample1.py. So I'm writing here, right? Excuse me. Save as how to save, right? Sample1.py. And now submit this file. And now submit this file to Python as. How you are going to submit this? You created a sample1.py file within the notepad. Just you have written some statements in notepad and you have saved it as .py. Okay, .py file created. How will you submit this to Python? Very simple. Already Python is installed, right? At the bottom search panel, type cmd, say enter. You get this. Just type Python and don't say enter. If you say enter, interactive mode will start. Python and submit your file to this Python. What is the file path in the C drive? Within this Python 10 p.m. Python 10 p.m. batch, that is the folder name where your files are stored. Within that sample1.py, just the file name, the folder, and the drive. Entire path of this file, provide it. Say enter, right? You will get 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. This is that, right? Just give that path. Okay. Just give the entire file path to Python. Here, but what is your observation here? Here, observe. We are writing the code. I'll be showing you in all the possible ways of executing this Python code. In editors, in IDs, different types of IDs, right? We are writing here, we are writing the Python code. Here we are writing the Python at one place. Means at one place means within the notepad you are writing and executing at the other place and executing at the other place. Where you are executing within the command prompt. But to write and execute at the same place, but to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment, which comes along with Python installation, right? Using which we can write and execute. At the same place. Understood, right? How can I open this ideally and how can I write and execute at the same place, right? Just at the search, in the search, type IDLE and say you got this right, IDLE Python 3.12. Say enter, Python shell gets opened, Python shell at 3.12. This is one way of opening. Otherwise, go to the start programs, check where all your applications are installed. Go to this, scroll down, right? Check in this Python 3.12. The first thing what you see is IDLE. Either you can search for IDLE or you can just click this IDLE here. Python shell gets opened. Here you need to say file, new file, right? So here you can write your Python code. In here itself we can execute the Python code, right? Yes. Print x plus y, print x minus y, print x into y. Just if you want to perform some kind of operations, right? So here save file, save, right? So within this 10 p.m. batch, the C drive, just now we have created Python 10 p.m. batch. Within this 10 p.m. batch, sample2.py, save it. So here itself we are writing, here itself run is there. Run module, that's it. 10 plus 4, 10 minus 4, 10 into 4. Addition, subtraction, multiplication. Writing here itself, run it here itself, right? Instead of writing it one place, execute other place, right? We have got this ideally. Later I'll show you how to run in this IDEs, right? In the real time we use this IDEs, right? Hope you understood this, what we have discussed in today's session, right? So I'll be giving 1 second. So, but regular sessions, right? Not like this. You people will be interacting. It's just installation process, execution modes, right? So 1 second. So today's what we have discussed, right? Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installations, Python execution modes, two modes, yeah, like various editors and various IDEs, developing the first Python application, right? And right, ideally. So this is what the course content you can check, right? Once again, Python basics, why Python history, advantages, versions, Python operations. Tomorrow also you can attend the session same time at 10 o'clock using the same link. Tomorrow you can attend, but from day after tomorrow, the link is going to be changed, right? You are supposed to get enrolled for getting the new link, right? Python operations, modes of execution, interactive mode, batch mode, editors, IDs, data types, constants, variables, comments, input output statements, escape sequences, operators, IDs, like working with the different IDs like Anaconda, distributions, Anaconda, prompt, navigator, PyCharm, Eclipse, Spider, all this, right? Flow control statements, if else, looping statements, strings in Python, string indexing, string slicing, string functions, string methods, string special characters, collections, list indexing, list slicing, list functions, list methods, list addresses, nested list, tuples, sets, dictionary, right? And functions in Python, different categories, default, non-default, keyword, non-keyword arguments, modules in Python, different ways of importing, renaming, reloading, packages in Python, errors and exceptions, right? Yes, sorry. Yes. Are you able to hear my voice, right? Yes. Errors and exceptions, file handling, right? Yes, object-oriented programming concepts in brief, regular expressions, database access, Python data and time, OS module, advanced concepts, graphic programming, TK Inter, Excel workbook, right? Data analytics, introduction to data science, Python pandas model in brief, NumPy model in brief, Matplotlib model in brief, right? And also like Django, Django introduction, web frameworks, Django installation, project architecture, Django applications, creations, views, templates, admin models, advanced concepts like and UI technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and MySQL. So this is what one second. Python, right? Code
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Not hearing properly. Your voice is breaking.
I'm not able to listen anything.
Okay. So here JavaScript and MySQL I'll be discussing, right? One second. So this is right. So UI technologies, Django framework, Flask framework, REST API, right? And project. So this is all I'll be discussing, right? UI, Django framework, Flask framework, REST API project. So from all this, right, this also takes 70 hours, 2 months duration. 7,000 is the fee structure. But if you're Python for 70 hours, frameworks for 70 hours, totally 140 hours, right? 2 months for Python, 2 months for frameworks, totally 4 months. 6,000 plus 7,000, 13,000. But if you're taking the entire package with single payment, it's 12,000, right? But if you're taking separately, right? This is timings. First 1 week, it will be at 10 p.m., right? Later, after 1 week, right, it will be starts at 9 p.m., right? So I'm making it clear about the timing, right? Before you do go with the payments, right? First 1 week, it starts at 10 p.m. Later, up to after 1 week, it will be at 9 p.m. up to the end of the course, right? It will be at 9 p.m., 9 to 10. So you'll be getting the recorded videos of each and every session, soft copy of the notes, assignments and tasks, and this you'll be added to the WhatsApp. A WhatsApp group will be created separately, and resumes and interview questions and live interactive sessions, right? So once we from tomorrow, right, the sessions will be interactive, right? I'll be just entering into technicals tomorrow. I'll be just going with some programming code tomorrow, right? Tomorrow everyone can attend same time at 10 p.m. using the same link, right? I also deal with big data analytics where Hadoop, PySpark, and Linux. In that, even the Python 2 months course is included. The course fee is 15,000, right? Right. So 12, it's only for weekends, right? Hadoop, PySpark, and Linux. But Python, it will be weekend from Monday to Friday. You can attend either this current batch or any other morning or evening batch of mine, right? Of Python 2 months. So if anybody interested for this big data, right, you can just call that numbers in that. Okay. Any other queries from your side? Anyone? Any queries? Okay. Fine. So, okay, fine.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, we want to take the only Python for 2 months, sir. Advanced and core.
Yes, you can take, right? You can just, it's
This
6,000
is
is the
how,
course.
okay. What is the duration of the 2 months only?
70 hours it takes.
70 hours. In the 70
Hmm.
hours, all topic and we can understand, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, sir.
It's not like 45 hours or 50 hours. We are spending 70 hours, right?
Okay.
Python core and advanced.
Core in advance, sir.
Excluding.
Today, you tell this topic today, we want to memorize this topic also, sir. Otherwise, you will 10 on the programming.
What is it? Today's topic?
Today's topic also, we want to memorize this also, sir. Otherwise, you can tell in the same in programming while doing.
No. Today we have discussed only that Python installation execution most, right? So tomorrow I'll be starting this programming part.
Sir. We don't want to memorize this much, sir. Today's execution.
Today's you have understood everything, right?
Yes, sir. Downloading and I was in the VS Code only. You told the 5, 6 types of editors.
Okay. Not only VS Code, we have got many editors. I'll be showing you all those things in the coming classes.
Okay,
Right.
sir. We want to download that all also in our system.
Yes. You need to download all. I'll show you that how to download and how to install.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Fine.
Okay.
So tomorrow also everyone can attend the session, same time and same link, right? Okay.
Okay,
So
okay,
if I'm done with the queries, if there are no other queries, I'll sign off for now and meet you tomorrow, right? Same time. Right? Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow. Good night.
Okay.